Hey guys, how's everyone?
Good.
So what's on the agenda for our meeting today?
Well, we need to review our last 6 months environmental health and safety records.
Okay, sounds good. Let's start.
Okay, so first, we thankfully did not face any major workplace accident these last 6 months and received an 85% in all safety audits.
That's great.
That's
Good
great.
job,
Good job,
guys.
guys. But our greenhouse gas emissions are up by 10%. We exceeded the maximum allowable emissions for a plastic manufacturing company.
We're also generating a ton of plastic waste that is eventually ending up in landfills and polluting our oceans.
Oh my god, that's not something we want to hear. How could we let this happen?
I don't know. What should we do about it?
Here's a suggestion. We could offset our emissions with another company.
Oh, that's too costly for us.
Plus, it doesn't reduce our emission in any way.
I got it, guys.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us in this press conference. Today, I will be asking the engineers of New Light Technologies a few questions I received from investors and engineers interested in supporting the research and development of their new product, AirCarbon, which is a bioplastic material that can be a replacement for petroleum-based plastics of this day and age. So let's begin. What is AirCarbon and how is it made?
The process of producing AirCarbon begins by combining methane and CO2 with air in a biocatalyst reactor. The biocatalyst used is inspired by marine microorganisms that perform the same procedure to produce a material called PHB. Renewable energy, salt water, and minerals are added to accommodate for the needs of the biocatalyst and the reactor. AirCarbon is then produced after a few separation and drying techniques.
How does AirCarbon affect the carbon and oxygen cycle? Does it interfere with the hydrological cycle, and does it use any nitrogen?
It should be first noted that 100% of New Light Technologies power utilization is based on renewable energy. Therefore, no carbon is produced with the use of fossil fuels in this process. Moreover, according to the findings of the Carbon Trust, AirCarbon is a carbon-negative material, as it captures more carbon from the air than any amount of carbon produced. Nevertheless, by decreasing the amounts of CO2 from the atmosphere, oxygen can cycle back to the ocean and marine animals. Despite using oxygen for the process, reducing the greenhouse gases will positively affect the oxygen cycles and help restore it to its natural way. As for the hydrological cycles, it also is affected by the production of AirCarbon, because salt water is required in the reactor for dissolving the gases in it, whereas nitrogen was never used in the process, nor is it affected by it.
You've advertised your product as something that is pioneering in terms of sustainability. Could you please elaborate on that?
As we had mentioned before, AirCarbon is a carbon-negative product. As such, our carbon offset is tremendous compared to other green products, and we do not rely on any kind of carbon credit in order to sustain our operations. As we develop further, we plan on removing at least 100 million pounds of carbon dioxide equivalent from the atmosphere. Also, through our patented technology, which aims at achieving at least bronze cradle-to-cradle certification, our goal is to set the stage for AirCarbon to effectively replace traditional PET and PPT plastic applications in different fields and on the long run.
How do you plan on growing your brand in a market which is getting increasingly oversaturated by similarly green alternatives?
In order to substantiate our input reserves, we plan on partnering with numerous landfills, dairy farms, and wastewater treatment plants which are notorious for the GHG emissions. We would also like to collaborate with different organizations and expand activities to other sites to grow our portfolio. On that note, we have a very important announcement to make. We will be launching AirCarbon through two distinct industries. Our footwear brand, Restore, sells biodegradable straws and cutlery, whereas our fashion brand, Covalent, sells handbags, wallets, and sunglasses. We truly believe that our pseudoplastic can penetrate the market. Finally, we start to drive forward customer incentive by telling each and every one of them the extent to which their purchases can eliminate GHGs from the atmosphere. We hope to positively impact their shopping experience by increasing their awareness on sustainability practices.
What can engineers, investors, and the consumers learn from your product?
Engineers should work on designing new and innovative products that will maximize the benefit of the human life while reducing the impact on the environment. They also need to focus on both the profitability and affordability of this product, which will encourage both companies and consumers to invest in life. Investors should be committed to choosing sustainable alternatives that will be for the betterment of the society and the environment. Also, they need to help us as engineers create and develop potential markets for this eco-friendly product and concentrate on marketing them in a way that will be appealing to the consumer and at the same time highlight on the advantages of these products.
Our press conference has reached an end. We wish New Light Technologies the best of luck throughout their endeavors with AirCarbon. Are you tired of hearing of the morbid ticking clock for Earth's need for change? Do you ever feel that all humans do is overconsume? Do you want to make better and more sustainable choices, but you don't know where to start? Veganism? Composting? Spending less? Let's make it easier for you. AirCarbon, inspired by the works of life itself, made by New Light Technologies, in collaboration with Dell and with its own companies Restore AirCarbon and Covalent AirCarbon, making their presence known in technologies, fashion, and basic kitchen set items. A certified cradle-to-cradle bronze product. Carbon negative. Climate change, are you hearing this? Ocean degradable. I mean, come on, you'd be saving the fish and turtles. Durable in hot and cold environments, and reusable and dishwasher safe. A much better alternative than the flimsy single-use plastics of today. What are you waiting for? Call us to get your newest AirCarbon product. Be the positive green impact that you are.
Hello, is this Dell? I would like to order one of those packaging sleeves which you have made in collaboration with AirCarbon.